Hey, Sustainable Parents, Flora McCormick here, founder and creator of Sustainable Parenting, licensed clinical professional counselor and parenting coach. I want to give you the quick down and dirty review of our day 2 of the Calm Confident Parenting Workshop, which was all about how to have less anger. The secret to having less anger, friends, is something that's probably the opposite of what you think. So many people tell me when they know they've been losing their temper a lot, it's like, I know what to do, I need to be more patient. And friends, I gotta tell you, it has nothing to do with patience. Because the fact of the matter is, in order for you to not be yelling at your kids, you need to see more cooperation. You need to see them listening to you. You need to see them not doing crazy behaviors that are just like making you lose it. Like so many parents were sharing yesterday, where's my list here? Parents were sharing in day 1 things like, my kid was yelling at the dentist. Oh yeah, well my kid took off her sandal and threw it at the dentist. People saying, I feel like our family just yells so much all day, so much disrespect to each other. I feel like the twins are just, things I say go in one ear and out the other. My older one, it's 5, is always talking back and disrespectful to us. One parent saying it's like, my kid will ask for things and then I'll give them that thing and then that's not even what they wanted. They get mad at me for giving me the thing they just asked for. You guys, this stuff is gonna make you angry. It's gonna make you lose it if you don't have strategies that are having the kids change their behavior. So in the big scheme of things, if you're trying to be more calm, I want you to be leaning more into effective strategies. And in the sustainable parenting model, that's all about having a great balance of kindness and firmness at the same time. Write this down if that's resonating, kind and firm at the same time. And typically what parents find is that when they've been losing their kindness, it's because they've been losing their firmness. Think about that. So parents will think, well, I need to set the boundary, but then they're not listening and I'm like, so then I get over here to like super strict and firm. There are ways to be kind and firm at the same time. And here's the magic it creates. The kids know the boundaries. They don't push, negotiate, argue as much. Kids end up understanding what the limits are and they're not constantly asking, begging, trying. And you then get to feel more calm, not feel like you have to yell to get your point across. So when you have that balance of kind and firm at the same time, you are going to have the secret to less anger. And I want to give you just one piece of sustainable parenting's model in order to be starting you on the road to get there. And here's what it is. It's that in order to be having more firmness, we're going to do a couple of things. First, we are going to make some agreements in advance. We're going to think about, what do I want the rules to be around tech time, around what our going to bed plan is, around what is going to happen in the mornings when we're trying to get out the door. And I'm going to decide for myself, I'm going to decide with my partner, and I'm going to tell the kids. Now, if you're like, how do we say this? How do we explain it? How do we know? We use a model of a recipe that's simply when, then. It's a really great first step on holding clear boundaries. When, then. When you hit, you sit. When you shout, I'm out. When you turn off technology, quick and snappy, then you can have it again tomorrow. When you don't, we're not going to have it tomorrow. We'll try again the next day. You know what? When you're dressed and you have made your bed, then we're going to have berries with breakfast. Or then you can watch a show on the iPad at the breakfast bar. When you're eating your breakfast and you're all dressed. When you stay in your bed, then I'm gonna come and check on you every little bit. So when you stay in your bed, honey, after I've tucked you in, I'm gonna come back in 30 seconds and I'm gonna give you one more little back rub. And then, oh, I can't wait to see, okay, again, when you stay in your bed and you have your eyes closed, I'm gonna come back in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And maybe you set something in agreement to that too, is like, and then when you have done all your 4 check-ins, you earn something in the morning. Just like something logical and related, not complicated. Something, maybe it's a little bit of screen time in the morning. Maybe it is that they get, you know, to be able to do a little bit like later bedtime, in terms of if you don't do all your 4 checks and you drag out bedtime tomorrow, excuse me, tomorrow we'll start bedtime earlier. So kind of when, then. And follow through. Lean into your firmness. If you struggle with this and you're tempted to give in, like 2 moms just messaged me this morning, like, oh, I want to follow through. I know it's the best thing. Cami was saying, sometimes I just like fall, like, oh, okay, this time I just don't want to have to deal with the tantrum. Here's a tool I want to give you. I want you to think about saying to your kid, I love you, and repeat the boundary. I love you. Like if you see them getting upset, I love you, honey. And when you are dressed, then I'm absolutely happy to turn on this iPad with breakfast. You could have kindness and firmness together at the same time. And it is the gateway to that calm, confident self that is not losing it because you don't feel like you know how to affect the situation, and that you are going to be able to do so in a loving way. And you may be saying, I don't have time for this. Life is like so busy. There's so many things. Like it's just too hard. I have to tell you this today, friend. I care too much about you. There are the same number of hours in every day. And if you've been having these types of struggles, like I read a minute ago, you're either going to keep spending your time on putting out those fires, or you're going to decide today that it's time to start spending your time on prevention. And that's really the truth. I have been a therapist of 12 to 16-year-olds. I've watched them come in my office. I've watched parents say, he doesn't listen to me. It's just like getting really scary. His driver's license, he'll just go wherever he wants. I can't even control it. He has money in his pocket now. He's buying things that I don't approve of, and I don't know how to stop it. And it's because there wasn't those foundations earlier of more firmness. And the stakes get higher, my friends. So decide today if you are ready to start spending your time on prevention instead of on putting out fires. And put this into practice. Try this one thing. Find some area in your life that you're like, okay, I'm going to make a when then, and I'm going to have an outcome, follow through. And let me tell you this, friend, if they get upset, on your handout it says, we don't negotiate with terrorists. We don't argue with arguments. We don't try to get rational with a person in an irrational state. All of these are about to be kind and firm at the same time, the 2 steps working together, knowing that when you've been losing your kindness, it's likely that you've been losing your firmness. And I want you to come back and tell me what you experience. One mom last night after the call said she was like, I already got to use this. My daughter was like whining about wanting these ballet slippers in her bottle, and I said, absolutely, honey. When you have climbed in bed, I'll hand you those ballet slippers and the bottle. And she climbed into bed, which was what mom was trying to get her to do. So come back, post it to our main page. I want to hear your stories. And I can't wait to see you tonight, where we're going to talk about the secret, the best question to ask to end daily battles. If you're not sure how to put this into action, please come tonight. This is going to be the way that you really end the daily battles. And then also we have a live Q&A offering tomorrow, 11 a.m. Montana time and 8 p.m. Montana time, for those that want to be able to ask me questions live from the workshop week. And so if you'd like an invite to that, to be directly in the room with me, in the Zoom room that'll be recorded for the public to see, message me and I'll be able to get you that link. Thanks, guys. See you soon.